This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, a podcast dedicated to the history and lore of the Final Fantasy series. Join us as we take a deep dive into the different worlds, characters, and so much more. Welcome back, Warriors of Light, to another episode of the Final Fantasy Lorecast. I am one of your hosts, Ben of Temeria, followed by my two awesome friends and co-hosts, Trey.
Hello.
And Steven.
Yo.
And this week, just like what we talked about last week, which... Was it just me and Steven last week? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was just you two. Okay. You talked about 6.
That's right.
We tried to, anyway.
We tried to. Yeah, we apologize for last week's. But this week, we are going over Final Fantasy VII Locations, Part 1. Because we're getting into the territory where all three of us have played these games. So we have a lot more to contribute with these locations. So
this one in particular, we're going to have a lot to talk about. Because this is...
Yeah, and specifically once we get into the locations, we'll get a little bit more into that. So this episode, we are only doing the eastern continent of Final Fantasy VII, where next week's episode, we will do the last two continents of the Seven World. Because, let's be honest, the eastern continent is literally where we, take part in majority of our story with the newer Final Fantasy VIIs.
Well, even the original, like that's most of the game.
I thought. Okay, you have to remind me on this. Oh no, my dog's barking. Okay, she's good. Anyway, so let's get right with it. So we are starting with the Eastern Continent for this week, and obviously we are going to be going over Midgard because, that's where we start.
Mm-hmm.
So, Midgard is the capital city and power base for this Shinra Electric Power Company in the world of Gaia, is a major location in Final Fantasy VII. Before Crisis, Final Fantasy VII, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy VII Remake, and also appears in the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children and Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. So it's literally...
all of them.
All of them. This is the location where you go to, period.
It's kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, if you hear Midgard, you know what game we're talking about.
It really... Oh, go ahead, Steve.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, even when the game opens, like it's... You got the big view of the out, and it zooms in, and your cloud on the train. But that big zoom in for Midgard, it really just kind of sets the stage for the scale of how big the city is and what the setting is. Yeah. And I thought that did such a really good job of introducing the setting without having to. The whole show don't tell. We didn't read like a big long Star Wars intro about Midgard. We just saw this city as it zoomed in, and I thought it did an excellent job at portraying the city.
Right,
and guy.
Just like Purple Archer just says in chat, the big pan shot of Midgard is so iconic. Yeah, that pan shot we get of Midgard is very iconic.
Yes.
So with the locations, we have Sector 1, which is a location in the Final Fantasy VII series, one of the 8 sectors that divides the metropolis of Midgar, and the sector which is visited briefly throughout the series. And within Sector 1, we have Mako Reactor 1, which is in both the original 7 and the remake, and is the first location of both games. It is one of the 8 Mako reactors built by the Shinra Electric Company to power the city of Midgar, appropriately found in between Sector 1 and Sector 8. So this is exactly what Trey was saying with the train shot and everything. You are in Sector 1 at the get-go of the game, going to Mako Reactor 1. So both games, the original and the remake, you literally, and it's the same, like, cutscenes and, like, everything with that, almost. There's some differences, but same stuff, same location, same boss fight.
That alternating shot between the train and the city is really cool. Even, like, especially for back then, where it shows it's, like, flashing really quick, like, there's a reason why it was so big when it first released. Like, it was completely groundbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah, they were flexing their muscles on that one.
They were.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the original Final Fantasy VII was 4 discs.
No, it's 3 discs.
Was it 3? I thought it was 4.
No,
it was 3. 8 and 9 were 4 discs.
Okay, that's what I might have been thinking of. Okay. But still, like, you have more than 1 disc for a game, when back
Pretty
then,
crazy.
1 disc was the game.
Yeah.
So.
All those discs for the little blocky characters, too.
Right, I know. Oh, my God. So, next we have Sector 8, which is obviously one of the 8 sectors that divide up Midgar. The location features in all of the Final Fantasy VII series, so 7, the remake, Before Crisis, Crisis Core, with a brief flashback in Dirge of Cerberus. So Sector 8 we don't really spend a lot of time in, if any at all, if I recall.
I can't remember going there.
I
don't
think we go to Sector 8.
I think you might cut through it.
Yeah.
On the way to Sector 7.
I believe you. Yeah, no, you are right. You are correct. So,
do we know? Do either one of you two remember which sector Jesse's parents live in?
Oh, that is a good question, actually. Let me see here.
I can Google that if you want to keep going.
So, Sector 8. It looks like. Oh no, we are in the original 7 apparently.
Yeah, I think
Sector
that's where
8
you
slums below
fight all this.
Visited in Final Fantasy Trace of 2. Oh, it's in the books. The Final Fantasy VII remake Trace of 2 Pass. Isn't that the book?
I don't know.
I think so. Yes, that's the book that Trey read. With it's the story with Tifa and Aerith.
I'm pretty sure that's where you go, like, after you blow up the Sector 1.
Oh, duh. Okay, yeah, we've been to Sector 8, duh.
And
it's
you get surrounded by the
Loveless Street, main area of business. There is the Genesis fan club meets the performances of the epic Loveless musical that takes place. Sector 8 gives a glimpse of light in Midgar. Oh, this is where we meet Aerith. That's Sector 8.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we rerun through it very briefly in the remake.
It's pretty cool in the remake.
Original.
It's not that brief because you have to do the slow walk through it.
That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we don't really.
I remember
run through it.
Yeah, I remember playing through it the first time, and I was like, "This is nuts!" Like, compared to the original, like, you're seeing all the repercussions for the explosions.
All of the chaos.
Yeah.
Turn my light down a little bit. All right, so now we have Sector 7, which obviously we have been to for quite a bit, which is obviously one of the 8 sectors, probably the most famous sector that we are aware of with our story in Final Fantasy VII. So it's in the original 7, in the remake. Also appears in some form in On the Way to a Smile, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, and Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. Only the Undercity has ever shown until the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So in the original 7, it was only the Undercity of Sector 7. We never seen like the actual city of Sector 7 until the remake came out. Which I want to see what this On the Way to a Smile.
It's a series of short stories. That's what I was just reading.
Oh, okay.
It basically
Place
fills in the
between
gap between them.
7 and Advent Children. Oh, okay. That's cool. Interesting.
Yeah. If you need
It's
your
also
7.
very good.
So what now, Trey?
I said it's also very good.
Oh, the short stories?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Rufus is the one that I remember the most, actually, funnily enough.
Okay. Yeah, and Purple Archer says in chat 7 has a couple of spin-off books. Yeah, I've been noticing that. The remake series has a spin-off book with Aerith and Tifa, and they have On Way to Smile, which is in between the original game to Advent Children's, the film, to finish off the 7 story.
Isn't there a novelization of 7 as well?
That one I'm not sure. And Purple Archer says there was a manga about the Turks as well. It's where Leslie and Kyrie in the remake came from. Oh, that's nifty. So, next we have Seventh Heaven, which obviously is very famous in the 7 remake or 7 series. Is a bar and restaurant owned and ran by Tifa Lockhart, located in Sector 7 slums of Midgar, as well as being a popular location in the slums, has served as a home base for Barrett Wallace Avalanche Cell. Which, we experienced this in the original game, definitely expanded more upon it in the remake. I mean, let's be honest, the remake expanded so much more of 7 in such a good way. Much more.
What was the other spin-off book called with Tifa and Aerith?
Echoes of Two Past, I believe.
Traces of Two Past.
Traces of Two Past.
So,
that one
if
I
you
know
read
you read.
it actually dives into the history. Like it's how she starts at Seventh Heaven, how she becomes the owner, how Barrett ends up becoming. Like it dives into Seventh Heaven, and after reading it, it made me appreciate the bar itself a lot more than I did beforehand.
Oh, that's awesome.
For me, that was Darts. Darts made me appreciate the bar.
Darts was fun. I will agree. Darts was a lot of fun.
You played Darts in the remake, yeah.
And then now we have the Train Graveyard, which is an abandoned switch yard in the Sector 7 slums of Midgar. Originally used as a switch yard for trains to transport between the Undercity and onto the plate, the area became a junkyard of old and abandoned trains, creating a maze of rusted metal. An example of the Shinra Electric Power Company's neglect. Strong winds make the depictable carriages creak and groan, and an odd, high-pitched sound echo over the area. The area is dangerous to look on the ground for monsters, especially of the supernatural variety. And, I mean, going through the original and even the remake, it's kind of like its own, like, dungeon-ish. I mean, that's what the gameplay-wise it makes it feel. It's its own dungeon.
I had never considered it a dungeon until you just said it, and I love that. I love that little, like, thinking of it like a dungeon just makes it such a nod to the old games, and I hadn't thought about it like that now, but I really appreciate that thought. That was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, you don't go back to it, and it's there's no reason to go back to it if you could even revisit it, and yeah, to me it's its own dungeon.
Yeah.
And especially like with the remake when they bring in the
ghosts.
Well, the Dementor-like creatures, and
that's a variant. But there's also the ghosts that like direct you through it.
Oh yeah. There's that too. And what are the Mako poisoning guys are called? I can never remember what they're called.
They just call them the robed guys.
The robes. Oh, the robed.
Yeah.
Whispers. Thank you, Box Girl. Whispers. Yeah, they're called Whispers, not Dementors. That's Harry Potter. That's my other podcast.
I still call them Dementors.
I mean, they look like Dementors. Let's be honest. So next we have Sector 4, which is obviously another of the 8 sectors. It is visited briefly during the events of 7 and the 7 Remake. So that's pretty much it. It's briefly, typically. So little was seen.
It's like you're crawling through the tunnels where you have to meet up with Jesse. Or not
so
Jesse,
little was
but
seen of Sector 4 itself as Avalanche primarily visits the sector to reach Mako Reactor 5. In both games, the locations visited in Sector 4 are unrevisitable and cannot be re-explored once the story has progressed beyond them. So that's pretty much it.
There's not a lot going on there.
And I can't remember. Is this the when? I'm trying to see if this is where you have that pursuit chase, or is that prior? Was that with the? Is this the motorcycle, or is that before this?
No, that's after. Oh, you mean in the remake?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm more thinking about the original. I don't remember when you do the motorcycle race. I think it's after this.
Oh, you board. This is the train. Okay, this is when you, Barrett, and Cloud, Bear, and Tifa board the train with the fake IDs and all that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I remember now. Okay.
Where Jesse's leg gets stuck in the thing.
Yes. She gets she gets injured by a whisper.
Well, in the remake.
Yeah, in the remake. In the original, she gets hurt because she got hurt.
Yeah. She mysteriously steps in a hole or something and her leg gets caught. You have to help her.
Did you have anything to add, Trey?
No, I was just making sure that I was still muted because I didn't have anything to add.
Oh, okay. So after that, we have Sector 5, which is obviously another sector of Midgar. It is under the Shinra Electric Power Company's control, like every other sector in the metropolis, and is composed of both slums and plate sections, though the plate is rarely seen. So this is another where, in the original, which I don't know, do we go... I don't remember going to the plate in the remake.
Going where?
Oh, yeah, hang on.
I mean, you could see the plate every time you look up.
Well, duh.
Well, in remake, you can always see the plate when it's there.
True, that is true. I mean, they mean above the, above the...
No, in the original, you don't ever really see the plate as you're playing.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you can't. The camera view just limits it.
That's true. Yeah, you can't look up because the camera. So after that, we do have Mako Reactor 5, which is one of the 8 Mako reactors built by Shinra to power the metropolis of Midgar, and doubles up as an artillery development plant. The reactor uses the same layout as Mako Reactor 1 and is located directly above the Sector 5 Slums Church. So...
that'll come into play.
That will come to play here in the next location. So that is very important. And this is literally this is another reactor, you, Barrett, and Tifa go and you blow up. You do blow it destroy it. You do blow it up. But, Cloud is, on a ledge and about to fall and falls.
Classic.
Yep.
Gets Mufasa.
Oh, yeah. What'd you say? He gets Mufasa?
Yeah. It's a great scene.
Oh my god!
The president, the president Shinra comes in. He gives a great big speech.
That's right.
It's a really great scene. I thought it was really well done. And obviously we all love the church. Even if the little mini game they had where the guy the soldier chased Aerith and you had to push the barrels off, that mini game was one where it was a no for me.
It made no sense. It's like, shoot this one over here, and then it's going to roll down way over there.
Yeah, that was
like, just fight him. You're fine. Whack him with the stick.
Yeah.
Since I brought up the book for Tifa a minute ago, Eris goes into why the Gainsborough house is the way it is, why they have such a standing in the slums, and just kind of how that all works. I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but if you're interested in the Sector 5 slums, if you want to know how Aerith and Biggs actually grew up together, it's all there in the book, so it's very good.
I didn't know that.
That's cool. That is really cool. So
that's a good tease, right?
Oh, absolutely. So next we do have the Sector 5 Slums Church, which is obviously a location in the 7th series, a deserted church located in the Sanctuary Way of Sector 5 slums. Aerith Gainsborough has successfully succeeded in growing flowers here, a remarkable feat considering the local Mako reactors leave the soil barren. Flowers also grow near Aerith's house, so the church is not the only place in the slums where the soil is fertile.
Interesting.
Right? Maybe there's something here. And, Purple Archer says, every time I think of her house, I just get reminded of the part where you have to move quietly and not touch anything. I failed so many times.
Yeah.
And Box Girl also hates it too. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, it's probably, I think, I would say that's probably my most hated part of the remake is doing these stupid quests like that. It's
because you bump
annoying.
like you can't help but bump like a pot there. It's like,
yeah, and it's like, oh, there
you move.
Yeah, you are, and it's like, no.
It's like moving in Skyrim where everything is just constantly knocked off of wherever it's at.
Right. But
I wasn't good in the original either, though. So
that's fair.
No,
At least in Skyrim physics, knocking something over doesn't alert a guard.
That's true.
Don't have enough control over Cloud for it to be comfortable. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But yeah, this is where we meet Aerith. This is where Cloud, falls through the church and somehow survives a giant fall and not die, and is rescued by Aerith.
He's got plot armor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. His invisibility is plot armor.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I had cast Protect on Cloud before the fight, so I just pretended he still had it on. So he just had like this little shield on him. That was my canon story that I'm sticking with.
Sure.
All right. That's fair. It's
also where you first meet the Turks.
This is true. This is also where, but the group as a general whole is the Turks. This is where we first meet them. That is also true because, they're after Aerith because Shinra is evil.
And you get to be a giant person running across the houses. Do you remember that?
Right.
Doing like, how is he so big? I'm bigger than these houses.
That is a great Reno introduction, though. He just walks in like a badass, walks over the flag. Reno in the game seemed like such more of just a badass than what we got in the movie, and then once it got updated in the remake. I like the new one, I like the silly and the happy one, but it just, thinking about it now, it does seem like a little bit of a contrast.
Yeah, because he would drive me crazy when you have to fight him up later in the game. And he would put you in a pyramid for the longest time. I was like, how do I do this? I didn't know that you actually had to attack the pyramid yourself. We'll get to that part later.
Yes, we will. So, at this point, though, we are going to take a quick mid-break, and we'll be back with more locations from 7.
It's 1938. The 2-week pay period is invented. But then, the world got faster. Faster travel, faster delivery, faster everything. Except our pay. Until now, with Daily Pay, everyone can access money they've earned when they need it. Yes, this is the future of pay. Daily Pay. Work with the leader in on-demand pay at dailypay.com. Transfer fee may apply.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey. with American Express Business Platinum. When you pay with membership rewards points for all or part of an eligible flight booked with a qualifying airline through Amex Travel, you can get 35% of those points back, up to 1 million points back per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
All right, welcome to the mid-break of the show where we're talking about everything with the lore that has nothing to do... Where we're talking about everything with the podcast that has nothing to do with the lore of Final Fantasy. Here we want to thank all of our awesome patrons. Thank you so much for supporting us. And if you do want to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/FinalFantasyLorecast to get ad-free episodes or join us once a month at the end of the month of a topic you're choosing. We'll have, 3 or 4 patrons with us this month? I'm pretty sure.
Should.
I think 3.
If everybody joins us, yeah. 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, we'll have 3 patrons with us at the end of the month. Super excited for that. Patrons, think of a topic you guys want to talk about. Shoot it over in the Discord. Let us know. And you can also support us by leaving comments and reviews on Apple and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review with some words on Apple. We'll read it out loud the next time of the show, as well as a nice Spotify comment, which we don't have any this week, but, it happens. And then you can also find us on a few different Discord servers. The Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show as well as all the other shows that I host. The Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Wizard World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So go check those out. They're a lot of fun. And... yeah, I think that's all I have for this mid-break. Do either you guys have anything to add for the mid-break?
Not yet.
I finally beat Rebirth.
Nope. Well,
for those not in the Discord, I wanted to acknowledge that for just the listeners that I'm going to put you on wax right now. Ben has the next 2 weeks to beat Rebirth, because in 2 weeks we are going to talk about it on the podcast. So anyone listening, Purple Archer, I might also be giving you a little bit of a side eye right now. You got 2 weeks, and then it's going to be fair game for us to talk about the ending. We will give plenty of warnings before we talk about it, but it is going to be on the table coming up. So there's your warning, there's your notice, and it's well worth it. I can't believe it took me as long as it did, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, I can't believe I was the first one to finish it out of us.
Well, I'm not surprised because my work life was a living, nightmare until now, thankfully. And
as I say, I'm not surprised I beat Ben, but I am surprised that I beat Trey to it.
Yeah, the timing of the release and everything I had going on around the house, it just didn't quite line up. But I got there at just the right pace. Everything hit perfectly, and it was a fantastic experience. Just absolutely unbelievable. And I can't wait to talk all about it in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Man. You hear that?
You're
Purple
on the
Archer?
clock.
Yeah, me and Purple Archer have homework to do. All right. So with that being said, let's get back into more Final Fantasy VII locations.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
All right. So we are back from the mid-break, and now we are talking about Sector 6.
The
so
best
obviously, another of the 8 sectors that make up Midgard. The sector's plate fell during the construction of the city, meaning only its sparsely populated Undercity remains. The Undercity is notable as the home of the Evergreen Park and Wall Market, though it is also filled with ruins from the plate's collapse. So this is a very notable place about the Undercity, or the Sector 6, and the real Riku. I want to talk about the snazzy music, Sector 6. Yes, the music is all there because of the specific places you go to in Sector 6. So one of these places is Wall Market, which is a lawless part of Midgard's Undercity and is the shopping center of the foremost entertainment quarter of the Undercity, located in Sector 6. It is infamous for the dangerous red light district atmosphere run by the local crime lord Don Corneo. It's a weird name, but yeah, every time I see his name, I always think of this scene with Tifa, Aerith, and Cloud in the remake. Literally, like, all right, I'm going to punch him, I'm going to stop them, or I'm going to cut them.
Ben, that's in the original.
Is that in the original too?
Yeah,
I was going to say I also think of that scene, but I think of the scene in the OG one. I always loved that scene when I was a teenager. That just made me laugh a lot.
Yeah,
it's been so long. It's been a while since I played the original. I don't remember. I can't remember if that was in the original or not.
We used to get a kick out of that as kids playing that. And we're like, he's like, I'm gonna smash him and I'm gonna crush him or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what was it? I'll smash him. Yeah. Was it? I think Aerith says smash, or is that Tifa?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I just know Cloud says, I'll chop him off. And it's like, oh, God.
Chop him off, yeah.
I know you're going to mention the Honeybee in a second, but
awesome.
That was the thing. That was the big question I think most of us had when the remake got announced was how were they going to handle Wall Market and everything that entailed. And I think they nailed that. When I saw how they handled that was when I knew that we were in good hands. Like, they were going to take care of it. They were going to do right by the original. And Wall Market is special for a lot of reasons, but like, I will always remember that as the moment that I was always happy. I was going to be happy with whatever. I try and be a pretty positive thinking guy when it comes to the games, but that was when I knew like they were also just all in on it. And Wall Market it's an experience.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I knew they were going to do it right as soon as when they announced, hey, we're going to do we're doing a new Final Fantasy VII series. And it's like, okay, the original director is directing the series. It's like, oh shit, we're fine.
Yeah,
I will say why we had the original 7.
Navigating Wall Market in the remake is just a nightmare. I have no idea where I'm at any given point. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat. Purple Archer says the dance segment was wild to watch for the first time. Yes, it was. So, going off of Wall Market, we have the Honeybee Inn, which is an entertainment venue located in Wall Market. And though based in the same location, the purpose of the venue is different between games. In the Final Fantasy VII, so the original, the venue is a brothel. And in Final Fantasy VII Remake, the venue is a VIP nightclub that puts on coveted shows.
Yes, and you can in the original you can peep through the keyholes to see what's going on inside the room, and always. Have you ever done that?
I don't think I ever did that.
There's one where it's like, obviously there's some implied stuff going on in most of the rooms, but there's one room where they're doing like a fake like sacrifice ceremony in there, and it's nuts. Yeah. See, that's what you're missing out. You gotta next time you play through the original.
I never went into the Honeybee Inn, but I feel like I remember reading that Palmer you can see Palmer in there, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's in. I forget what he's doing in there. He might be part of that ceremony thing.
And that's all we need to talk about with Palmer at a brothel. We can move right on to the next thing as far as I'm concerned.
So next we do have the sewers, which is located beneath the Undercity of Midgar. The system provides a path between the different sectors of the city, including connecting Wall Market of Sector 6 and the train graveyard of Sector 7 slums. So, and with the sewers, it's essentially a dungeon. That's pretty much gameplay-wise, that's what it is.
I mean, in 7, it's just that two little areas, maybe.
It's a few.
It's a few, I think, if I recall.
But it is important because that's one of the key situations where you have to. Aerith and Tifa are both on the ground, and you have to pick which one you're going to get up first, and that makes a big difference on the date. Yeah. So it's a small place,
correct? Which
has some big ramifications later on.
I can't remember. Did they have that in the original? Did they have that in the remake? Because obviously, because the date scene wasn't in the remake.
I don't remember if I'm sure they had something similar in it, just to have a nod to it. But I don't remember the sewer scene from remake.
Okay. No, because that's where it's Don Corneo's pet is the monster that you fight, and he kind of just knocks a hole through the wall so you can proceed.
Okay, in the remake, it's the dungeon. They made it more of a dungeon.
Yeah, it's a very annoying dungeon.
That's right.
You have to follow.
Yeah, that's right, because you do fight Dawn towards the end of the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have Sector 0, which is the central sector of Midgar, and is the space that the Shinra building, headquarters of the Shinra Electric Power Company, stands, and where Mako Reactor 0 is located. Below it is the main base for a deep ground.
I just want to acknowledge we skipped a few things in Wall Market, like the gym where you get to do awesome workout.
That's an optional thing. That's not like
it should never be optional.
It never should be optional.
You should be doing that so you can make Cloud a pretty girl. And get chosen.
That's fair. That's just some mini game stuff there.
Mm.
Steve loves his mini games. He had to shout it out.
Oh, I know. But yeah, Sector 0, this is where Shinra is. You will eventually go to Sector 0 to confront the Shinra company and all that jazz. And, Cloud gets recognized by someone, by a Shinra troop. And the deep ground is specifically from Dirge of Cerberus, because it's the Dirge of Cerberus stuff that we get in the Yuffie chapter of the remake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Yuffie. So well done.
God,
yeah, I want to play that game just for those characters, like the characters that you meet in the intergrade at the very end of it. I want a whole game of that. So
it's called Dirge of
Googled it. I Googled it and I was like, oh, they have their own whole game. Oh, I should try to play this. It doesn't look that bad.
No, I mean, it was on, I believe, the PSP, if I recall. So,
I thought it was on PlayStation 3.
Was it?
Dirge of Cerberus? I gotta look it up.
I literally never heard of it until I Googled it after I finished.
PS2.
PS2. Okay. Oh God. I don't think you'll be able to. I don't think there's a way to play it now.
No, you could play all the older games. They just port it over. It's if they actually have it ported over. That's the question.
I mean, you can always find a way to play it, or if you don't want to go that route, you could always play through.
An emulator, technically, you can do that.
Look, I was talking around it, Benny boy. You're not. Jeez.
Wow.
This is not
it's okay. It's not Nintendo. It's not Nintendo. They're not going to sue me.
You're fine. Yeah.
And emulators are interesting. Okay. Anyway, so next we have this Shinra building. It is the head office of the Shinra Electric Power Company, a colossal skyscraper at Sector 0 in the heart of Midgar, and the most dominating building in its skyline. Go figure, because they have an ego.
Yes, and probably the most iconic image from Final Fantasy VII. I think the cover art for a lot of things having to do with the cloud standing in front of the building.
Yeah. Yep, that is true. And
no, that's such a great visual.
Purple Archer says in chat, there is proof that the demand is there. If you're seeing this square, remastered Dirge, you cowards.
Please don't see this square. Because I may not be playing 5 that way.
I wouldn't mind them remastering it. I would much rather them just give us okay, I put 80 hours into my save on Rebirth, I think, or 85. Give me like 10 hours on the next game that's just Deep Ground related with Yuffie.
Or DLC.
Because
I thought that would be asking too much, but
yeah, I mean, but the remake originally didn't have DLC, and then hey, we're adding Yuffie. Here's a 2-chapter DLC.
See, the problem with the DLC is then I'm going to ask for all of it. I'm going to want Sid DLC. I'm going to want Vincent DLC. I'm going to want all of the DLC.
Yeah, but the thing is, the whole reason they had Yuffie was because Yuffie was
the next
character they were going to do that you will have in your party. And her
I
story,
do like
and the way they did how they're introducing the Cerberus characters into the remake series.
Well, then we have a good idea of what DLC they might do next, but I can't say because Ben hasn't beat the game. So
that is okay. That's on my to-do. Anyway, next we have the Midgar Expressway, also as Midgar Highway. Location in the 7 series is a series of winding roads in Midgard belonging to Sector 0, passing through other districts of Midgard. And this is where we have actually 2 of the motorcycle scenes and chases in the remake. And do we have this in the
original?
Okay, yeah. I knew we had one in the original. Do we have?
Yeah,
do we have both?
This is the only one.
Do we have 2 chase scenes in the original? I remember the one.
No, just
I think just one in the original. I think you have a second one in remake when you're headed topside to get Jesse's dad's ID.
Yeah. Okay. So it was just the one towards the end. Okay, I couldn't remember.
So I do like Riku's question before we get too far away from Shinra Building. Do you take the stairs or the elevator? I'm an elevator guy myself.
Yeah,
because
elevator.
My fingers hurt.
Yeah, I'm an elevator guy. And Barrett right on the bed of the truck with the red in his lap is etched in. Yes, that is freaking hysterical.
It's pretty great, yeah.
That's great. So, and then after that, we do have the Midgar Wasteland, which is a desolate area surrounding the city of Midgar and later the city of Edge in the compilation of Final Fantasy VII. Barren of flora due to the siphoning of the planet's life energy in Midgar, the area is a wasteland. Hence why it's called a Midgar wasteland. Edge? The city
what is that
of
from?
Edge. Which is...
Is that from one of these side games that I've never played?
Is the city built to the east the remains of Midgar.
I thought Edge is it's what comes after, I think.
After it was destroyed by meteor. So this is after the fact. So it appears in Advent Children and Dirge of Cerberus. It was built on the outskirts of Sector 3 and 4 by surviving inhabitants of Midgar after the meteor fall.
It's just Midgar 2.0. They just didn't want to call it Midgar anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a wasteland. Completely. Midgar Wasteland. It's a wasteland. Because there's no life.
Also... in theory, that this is the big city that's polluting the planet. It makes sense that there's going to be some nasty runoff.
Oh, absolutely. And, this is where the remake ends, is where you literally are going outside into the Midgar Wasteland. This is where the
Can I also propose that this is where we end for this episode?
I mean...
Don't you have Hogwarts coming up? And this was the end of Midgar, so we could this is the Midgar episode. Just like Remake, Midgar was so big we made it the whole episode. Unless you don't have to run, but I thought you had to jump on to the next one, and I thought it was just kind of the perfect stopping point.
You know what? It would be a good stopping point because that's the remake right there. We just covered the entire remake.
And the rest of the game's a breeze after
Rebirth.
Yeah. In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yes. In 2 weeks. Which, apparently I'm going to have to beat the game in probably here in the next couple days.
Sorry, Free Company, you're not going to see Ben for 2 weeks.
Well, I don't
Who
know
had
about
Steven
that.
being the first one to reference Final Fantasy XIV and it being like 45 minutes into the pod?
Yeah. I think
You
everybody
did so good today,
Right?
man.
I see. I didn't mention 14 at all in this episode.
Not a single time.
And you know why? Is because there's no references of 7 in the there's one reference of 14 or 7 in the 14. And it's the golden God. The gold saucer. Sorry, the gold saucer is the only thing from 7 that is in 14. That's it. It's a gold saucer in some of the mini games, like Chocobo Racing.
Look, see, we brought it up, Trey, and this is my fault.
This is
now
your
you
fault.
got me talking about it.
This is your fault.
For these. Not me just rambling about Cosmo Canyon for an hour. Okay, imagine the TikTok edit of 14 references. Oh my gosh, that would be freaking hysterical if someone made a freaking TikTok of all of the times I mentioned 14 on this podcast.
Yeah, it'd have to be it'd just be an account.
Don't TikToks have time limits?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have 3 minutes. It's more than 3 minutes.
For sure, more than 3 minutes.
It would be an episode's length. Yeah, pretty much. It would be an episode's length every time I mention it because I mention it a lot. But yeah, so yeah, that's where we're stopped. We'll save the other part of Midgard that we still have on the Eastern continent.
For Midgard.
And the Midgard itself, but the other parts of the Eastern continent, and put that into next week's episode where we'll talk about the rest of the continent.
Maybe we'll make it a 3-parter.
This might be a 3-parter. Who knows? We'll see how this goes. No, I've never even heard of the show called Dad of Light and never heard of that box girl. You'll have to tell me about that. I have no idea what that is. But, so yeah, that's all we have for this week's episode. So, Steve and Trey, is there any final thoughts or anything that you guys want to share?
You're on the clock, Ben. You got 2 weeks.
Yep.
I know that.
2 weeks. I hope my power comes back on soon. Apologies for the audio quality on my end, but I missed last week. I wasn't missing Final Fantasy VII's location.
Yeah, that's fair. That's understandable. We got Ben. We got Ben this been 2 weeks. Yeah, you do. Yep. We got this. Been 2 weeks.
Everybody who's friends with Ben.
2 weeks.
Everybody who's friends with Ben on PlayStation Network, just make sure, just check on him whenever you are online and see what game he's playing, and be like, Ben, why are you playing 14?
And if he's playing 14, take a screenshot of it and shame him in the Discord, and we will all join him.
No, don't you dare shame me on my own Discord.
Help me God if I see you playing Elder Scrolls.
Hey, well, hang on. I play ESO on my Xbox, so can't track me there. I haven't really been. I've logged into ESO for the last few days just to get my login rewards, but that's it. I've been the last couple of days I've been just relaxing and not have to worry about going into my nightmare of a job I had. So.
Do you guys think I should go see if the Wendy's has power or not down the street?
I mean,
it probably doesn't, but I'm pretty hungry.
Is this episode still going? Or
we're still going. So, anyway, I blame Fallout for scrapping. Yes, I agree, Purple Archer. I blame Fallout because the Fallout show was great and it got me hooked back into Fallout. But anyway, yeah, that's all we have for Prologue featuring Trace Wendy. Yes. So yeah, that's what we have for this week. Hope you liked the commentary at the end of the episode. So, thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, and may the crystals guide you. Thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net. You can find us on Twitter at FFLorecast, and you can email us at fflorecast@gmail.com.
Let's be honest, most cybersecurity content, easy to ignore. because it doesn't sound like what you're actually dealing with. AI is changing the game, and the gap between reality and the conversation keeps getting wider. That's exactly why we created Zero Trust Issues. Hosted by Tony Petricola and Joe Marquette, this podcast dives into the real decisions security leaders are facing and how they're leading the charge. Follow Zero Trust Issues now to stay ahead of what's coming next.
Shipping, billing, admin, payroll, marketing. You're managing all the things, so why waste time sending important documents the old-fashioned way? Mail and ship when you want, how you want with Stamps.com. Print postage on demand 24/7 and schedule pickups from your office or home. Save up to 90% with automated rate shopping. That's why over 1 million small businesses trust Stamps.com. Go to Stamps.com and use code PODCAST to try Stamps.com risk-free for 60 days.